My name is Aurora. I am 26 years old, and I work in a small bookstore in my city. The shop is not very big, but it has tall wooden shelves full of books of every color and size. I have been working there for almost 3 years now. It is not a fancy job, but I like it. I love the quiet sound of pages turning and the warm smell of paper and coffee from the little cafe next door. Most days are calm, and I enjoy helping regular customers find the books they need. One Monday morning, my boss told me that we were getting a new worker. She said, "His name is Ethan. He will start today. I want you to show him how we do things around here." I smiled politely, but inside, I felt a little annoyed. I had gotten used to working alone most mornings, and I liked the peace. A new coworker meant more talking, and maybe more mistakes that I would have to fix. Still, I told myself to be patient and wait to see what he was like. When Ethan walked into the shop, I noticed he was tall, with messy brown hair and a serious face. He didn't smile much when he introduced himself. He just said in a quiet voice, "Hi, I'm Ethan," and gave a small nod. I said hello back and started showing him around the store. As we worked, I realized he didn't say very much. When I explained how to organize the books or how to use the cash register, he just nodded without asking questions. When customers came in, he didn't greet them with a friendly smile like I did. Instead, he stayed quiet and let me do the talking. At lunch break, I tried to have a casual conversation with him. I asked, "So do you like books?" He looked up from his phone and said, "Yeah, I do," and then went back to looking at the screen. That was it. I felt a bit shocked. That's it? Just one word? I thought. To me, it felt cold and unfriendly. I told myself, maybe he doesn't want to be here. Maybe he's just lazy or rude. This is going to be hard. The next few days didn't make things better. Ethan stayed quiet, and sometimes he didn't do tasks the way I showed him. One time, he placed some books in the wrong section, and I had to fix it later. Another time, a customer asked him a question, and he just froze, so I had to quickly step in to help. By the end of the week, my frustration grew. I was tired from doing most of the work, and I felt like he wasn't even trying. On Friday afternoon, after a very busy day, my boss came into the shop to check on us. I couldn't hold my feelings in anymore. I said, "Honestly, I don't think Ethan is a good fit for this job. He doesn't talk to customers, and I feel like I'm doing everything by myself." My boss looked surprised. "Really? That doesn't sound like Ethan," she said gently. "I'll talk to him later and see what's going on." She thanked me for sharing my thoughts, but I could tell she didn't fully agree with me. I felt a little annoyed, thinking, maybe she just doesn't see how hard this has been for me. The next morning, something happened that completely changed my view. It was a quiet Saturday. Ethan and I were restocking the shelves. I was in the back room when I heard voices at the front counter. I came out and saw an older man speaking slowly, using broken English. He was clearly struggling to explain what he wanted. To my surprise, Ethan was standing there, listening carefully. He spoke to the man slowly, using simple words and even some hand gestures. After a few minutes, the man smiled, thanked Ethan, and left happily with the book he needed. I stood there shocked. When the customer left, I said, "Wow, Ethan, that was amazing. How did you understand him so well?" Ethan looked a little embarrassed. "I just understood a bit," he said quietly. I frowned. "Your English sounds perfect to me. Why were you speaking like that to him?" He gave a small laugh and finally explained. "Actually, my English is not perfect. It's not even my first language. I moved here only 6 months ago. I'm still learning. Sometimes I get nervous when I speak, especially with customers. I don't want to make mistakes or sound stupid, so I stay quiet most of the time." His words hit me like a wave. Suddenly, everything made sense. The short answers, the quiet behavior, the way he avoided conversations. He wasn't rude or lazy at all. He was just shy and worried about his language skills. I felt a rush of guilt. All week, I had been judging him without knowing the truth. I had even complained about him to our boss. My face grew hot, and I said softly, "Ethan, I'm really sorry. I thought you didn't care about this job. I thought you were being unfriendly, but now I see I was wrong." Ethan gave a small, kind smile. "It's okay. I understand. It's hard for me to explain these things sometimes." From that day on, I decided to change my attitude. Instead of getting annoyed, I started helping Ethan more. When the shop was quiet, I helped Ethan practice easy sentences he could say to customers. We practiced things like, "Can I help you find something?" and "Would you like a bag?" I also showed him simple ways to remember where the different book sections were. I told him to keep talking, even if he made mistakes. Ethan worked very hard. Even when he got words mixed up, he didn't give up. Slowly, I saw him becoming more confident. One afternoon, he greeted a regular customer with a warm smile and a clear, friendly voice. The customer smiled back, and I felt proud of him, almost like a teacher watching a student grow. As the weeks passed, we became good friends. I found out that Ethan was very smart and funny when he felt comfortable. He told me stories about his home country and how hard it was to move here alone. I realized he was very brave to start a new life in a place where he didn't fully know the language. One day, our boss came in and saw Ethan helping many customers easily. She turned to me and whispered, "You see? I told you he would do well." I smiled and nodded, but inside, I felt a little ashamed. I remembered how quickly I had judged him when he first started. I had thought his silence meant laziness, and his shyness meant rudeness. I had assumed the worst without trying to understand him. That evening, as I closed the shop, I thought about what I had learned. Everyone has problems we cannot see. Some people are quiet, not because they don't care, but because they are afraid or having a hard time. Now, whenever I meet someone new, I remind myself to be patient and kind. I remind myself not to judge quickly, because I might be completely wrong again. Looking back, I feel thankful for Ethan's friendship and for the lesson he taught me. That week, I didn't just get a coworker. I got a good friend and a new way of seeing the world. If you liked the story, please do like, share and subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.